here to support my sister. I think my sister is a really sweet, sweet lady. And I'm just not sure the people around her, care about her, you know?
And I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away.
I started writing songs when I was 9, and when I was younger, I just saw music. The purpose for music was to entertain people, and it was only over the last couple of years that I realized that I could actually communicate through my songs. And I used to write poems in a separate sort of stream of consciousness way as I would write my songs, and I wasn't in an environment where they were encouraging me to be vulnerable or to be honest. And whenever I would try to do that, it wasn't very accepted, you know. So when I got away and I wrote on my own and I worked with Glenn Ballard, it was just a completely different experience, much like the ones that I had had when I wrote poetry. So from now on in, I'll never do it differently.
I'm an 80s queen, you know. I love 80s cheese music.
Almost too hot, never too cold. You make it a shot too hot to hold. I wanna feel your love. Run to your head.
A lot of the music that I wrote back then was for the sake of entertainment, and it was much safer. I don't think I was secure enough and fearless enough to be as unadulterated as I was on this record. At that time, I didn't really know what it meant to be true to yourself musically, you know. And it wasn't until I did tap into this way of sort of stream of consciousness writing, and sort of that accelerated pace in which you just sort of like a frenzied way of writing, that I knew that, you know, it's in retrospect now that I realize how I hadn't really tapped into my true voice. Pardon the pun. You know how us Catholic girls can be. We make up for so much time, a little too
a little girl in Ottawa or a teenager in Toronto writing your little poems, sing along. Did you know that you were going to become an artist? Like, did you have any idea?
I knew that I'd be an artist, yeah,
Oh, yeah?
definitely. From the time that I was very young, I didn't know the extent of any sort of external success or lack thereof, but I knew that I'd be an artist. Whether I had to sing on a street corner or not, I'd be performing. So.
Oh, that's great. You said once that you always had an adult soul. Do you believe that now, having reached all this success as an artist, that there's going to be some room for the child in you?
I think the child has emerged quite a bit on this tour.
You don't have time.
No, it's emerged here and there. I mean, yeah, there's just different facets of my personality, and I think a lot of it comes out in the music. I know a lot of my youthful part of myself comes out when I'm on stage, for sure. I'll always have my perspective in my songs. I think it'll be hard not to, but I won't always be writing about myself. I love observing people and situations, and obviously with the last year and a half, I've observed different cultures and so many people that it would be hard for me not to write about them.
To so many different places, from Madison to Glasgow to New Zealand. What would you say are some of your favorite areas, and how do your fans differ in the different places there?
I loved Asia, and I loved Japan in particular quite a bit. You know, I love traveling. I think sometimes it's better to travel while you're not on tour because you get to see the culture a little more, but and audiences there was a thread of continuity throughout all of them, but some of them were just more excitable than others, you know. They're all pretty damn sweet, though. This record, a lot of the songs were written in about 15 minutes to 45 minutes, just really quickly. Glenn and I in the room, very stream of consciousness, as though, many times we felt as though it was being channeled through us.
I sing hallelujah in the choir.
It's hard for me to sing words that are that honest without re-experiencing it in many ways, and there are times where I'm spent like spare change at the end of a show, emotionally as well as physically. Jimmy Boyle, the man that mixed it, heard a version that Glenn and I had done originally, and he wanted to try something on it.
My friend Jimmy called me up and said, I'm remixing this song. Would you come in and play on it? And I said, okay.
At the time, we were like kind of in hiatus, you know, not working on the record, and, you know, I like to work, you know, I like to play music, so it was just an opportunity to go down to Maverick Studios and kind of remix that Alanis song.
I love playing with different people. I'm always happy to play with something different, you know, whether it's completely different from what I usually do or not. I really enjoy playing with other people.
I know that version of me. She preferred it like me, but she right. Love. And every time you speak her name, you should know how you told me to hold you up till you die. Till you die, but it all still alive. And I will to remind you of the best year you ever will. Not there to deny me of the cross I bear that you did to me. You ought to know. Don't get your name in the bed with me, and I'm not gonna fade as soon as you move your eyes. You know it. And every time I scratch my nail down, someone else is gonna hold you feels. Well, can you feel it? Well, I'm here to remind you of the best year when you and me. Not there to deny me.
And the winner
A vencedora é...
is Alanis Morissette.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
I am not the best female
Eu não
in this
sou
category.
a
I just
melhor
want to
mulher
accept it on
nesta
behalf of all
categoria.
females, and
Gostaria
I
de
think they're all
agradecer
beautiful.
em parte de todas as mulheres. Eu acho que são todas
And
lindas.
just want to let you know that although it,
Gostaria de deixar
it
vocês
has been
saberem que, embora
touted as being
tenha sido
the year of the woman, although we
vendido
women
como ano
are
da
coming into
mulher,
our own, we still
embora
love
estemos
you men for
realmente
what you
crescendo,
are,
continuamos,
just so that you
amamos
know.
vocês homens pelos que
Okay,
são.
thanks a lot.
Só para vocês saberem.
Arrogantly think that I'm the greatest artist in the world just because they give me awards. But it's a good life. I know that I was meant to write songs and play for people, so I feel like I'm doing what I should be doing.
It's good. Very different. Can we keep this or do we have to give it back? I drink pina coladas when I'm in Hawaii. This is great.
It feels so good. Swimming in your stomach.
I think people need to hear the truth. I don't know if everybody wants to hear the truth. I think it's easy to hear my truth as opposed to them hear their own sometimes. But what I find, especially when we're playing live shows, is that a lot of people are releasing their own emotions at the same time that I'm releasing mine. So it becomes as much about them as it does about me, which is gratifying.
You scream, you I took off my clothes, put on your robe, and I went through your drawers and I found your cologne. Went down to the den, I found your CDs, and I played your Johnny, and I shouldn't stay long. You might be home soon, I shouldn't stay long. Would you forgive me, love, if I didn't sit in your shower? Would you forgive me, love, if I laid in your bed? Would you forgive me, love, if I stay out after night? It said, hello, love, I love you so, love, meet me at midnight. And no, it wasn't my writing, I better go soon, it wasn't my writing. So forgive me, love, if I cry in your shower. So forgive me, love, for the salt in your bed. So forgive me, love, if I cry on left alone.
Throughout the writing of the record and before it and just growing as a person, I spent a lot of time alone and being very introspective, and now my life is a little more external, so I try to hold on to those moments as much as I can, the ones that are quiet. But it's just, as opposed to meeting one new person a day, I meet 10 new people a day.
I've seen them give their drugs up in place of makeshift altars.
The title is basically making reference to the fact that I used to not allow myself to feel infatuated because I just equated relationships with pain and difficulty and confusion. And now that I understand myself a little more and the opportunity that relationships give me to heal, I can actually enjoy it and let go and just enjoy my heart palpitating a little more. It's different in that I experimented with different instruments this time, and it was a little less regard for structure, perhaps. And emotionally and lyrically, I feel that I still allow myself to react to things or people or situations, but I don't necessarily stop there. I still take responsibility for my role in it, perhaps more so than before. I took a year and a half off after the tour for Jagged Little Pill, and about a year into it, I went to India for a month. And I went with my aunts and my mother and my girlfriends, and it was an opportunity for me to just let go and to stop for what felt like the first time in my life, which enabled me to look at my life and look at what had happened with my music and with everything that had come along with it in an objective way, and to see whether I really wanted to do it again.
your feet. How long will this sleep on? How long have we been sleeping? They're singing under every word you say. How soon will I be heard? How much will this cost for love? How much longer till you completely out somewhere? Give me strength on the wayward. How long till it night ends? How much longer till you completely out somewhere?
Thank you.
I'll give you countless amounts of outright acceptance if you want it.
It's time to be distracting myself from everything but writing lyrics. Because it's hard to write lyrics. It's scary. You gotta look in. You gotta go in. And that's scary.
I know
Must work. Must work. Must work. Must work.
In the meantime, I'll live like there's no tomorrow. Are you uninhibited in bed more than 3 times a week? Up for being experimental.
I don't listen to a lot of music. I'd rather have silence for 6 hours than have music playing. I'll listen to Joni Mitchell. I'll listen to greatest hits packages by Neil Young or James Taylor. I missed out on on a really great era. You know, the Paul Simon and Garfunkel era. I missed out on that because I was too young. So I catch up on that, or I just, or I do yoga, or I meditate, or I just relax, take baths, read a lot of fiction. I won't introduce this one because I Under Rug Swept is a lyric in the bridge for Hands Clean, and a lot of the subject matter, particularly in that song, but also in a lot of the other songs on the record, was about my addressing things and transparently sharing things, sometimes for the first time ever, in a way that I had not been able to do in the past. One part of your history's reinvented, and something or other. It took a lot of courage for me to sing about and write about and speak about, for that matter, some of the contents in the songs on the record. So just reaching a point in my life where, as best as I possibly can right now, I want to speak as honestly and as transparently as I can, and as each year goes by, I am able to do it more and more so. There were so many songs to pick from when it came time to decide what the final sequence would be on the record. And in my gut, I didn't want any more than 11 songs on the record. I felt like that was the kind of zen number. I wrote 30 songs for this record, of which I think around 22 of them I recorded. I had to pick out of 22 songs and kind of whittle it down to 11. It just got to a point where it was too difficult of a choice to make, basically. So I've decided to release
an EP or the equivalent of that shortly after the release of Under Rug Swept, sort of considering it to be a volume 2 to the volume 1 of what the record will be. I did not want to not share these songs, and didn't want to share them in the form of their being B-sides. So this was the place that I arrived at that I felt really peaceful about, so I'm very excited to do that. I'm just so used to being in the crowd. I'm used to being around the people. I'm used to sort of be literally standing up on a stage in front of people. It's weird. It's fine. It's weird.
Like a young thing would to a guardian. I know you socialize me like a young thing would, and I think I like it. Ooh, this could get messy, but ooh, you don't seem to mind. Dude, don't go telling everybody. Overlook this supposed crime. We'll fast forward to a few years later. No one knows except the both of us. If more than honored your request for science, you've washed your hands clean of this. What part of our history's reinvented and under rug swept? What part of your memory is selective and tends to forget? What with this distance it seems so obvious. Just make sure you don't tell on me, especially to members of your family. We best keep this to ourselves and not tell any members of our inner posse. I wish I could tell the world, cause you're such a pretty thing when you're done up properly. I might wanna marry you one day if you left that weight and you keep your firm body.